Hi everyone, The Lone Wolf here, and welcome back to the Sunday Recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a bit about my last week in games. And as always, we'll start with EVE Online, which really has been the only game that I've played last week, and definitely a little bit more than the week before. I got a little bit more time and spent a bit more time in the Ishtar, flying around in a Mars space. Found a lot of data sites again. That really does seem to be a theme around Detal. Not a lot of competition, from time to time a good combat site. Really not very lucky in the drops in the combat sites, but a lot of data sites, and from time to time, right, 10 million in a container because it has some of those new items. So it's been pretty good in a Mars space. Then I decided to take a quick trip to Jeddah and to Galente space, because I felt like trying an idea for the Gila, which is like a full regen, 220 HP a second. We're testing that out slowly, but it's been going pretty well for the ship front, but not so good when it comes to the exploration front. I found a couple of good combat sites, but honestly, other than that, I'm not finding a lot of good sites in Galente space, and I think it is just because there's more people there and there is way more competition than what I'm finding in a Mars space. So in all likeliness, because I did time this around my next set of BPCs, early next week I'll just do a jump clone back to a Mars space, get back to some relaxed exploration there, and do my BPC business and things like that, because I did not do that last week. It usually takes around 10 days for like the highest tier BPCs to be produced, and that's how I try to time things. And so it was basically this whole week where the research was going. PI wise, I did one more sale at the early start of the week of some more coolants, still a pretty good price, but obviously I'm not the only one that has a lot of PI materials that are waiting for better prices, and so prices are coming back down quite severely, although we're still getting like the best price that we've probably had in 1.5 to 2 years for coolants at the moment. So I did manage to do a little bit more selling on that front as well. And then for active trading, well, really not a lot. I did take a quick look at stuff in Jeddah, but I've got some Tech 2 ships ready that I'm already pretty happy with, and I did not feel like spending too much time browsing through the market looking for more buy opportunities. Stuff wise, we've got quite a bit already all over the place, so that is something that I'm still working on, that is bringing everything together in the trade hubs, focusing on Amar at the moment. I basically made everything in containers so that I've got the different categories, don't have to just overload a single hangar, but it is a lot of work because it is a lot of stuff that I still have hanging around, and that's gonna be something that I'll probably work on slowly over the course of the next few weeks as well. News wise, in EVE Online we've got Totality Day that is being celebrated at the moment, so the event where the Triglavians captured their 27 systems and started their own region in our type of space, so no longer in the Abyss. We're still not really sure exactly what they're doing, but I mentioned this in EVE Talk as well. Lore wise, we got a couple of breadcrumbs in the announcement for Totality Day, where there are these rumors that the Triglavians have started non-aggressive communications with the empires, so that could be pretty cool if the story does decide to develop. We know, of course, that we just had an event around the rogue drones. That's probably mostly focusing on the new capital sites that they'll make available through that Concord beacon, but I do still get the feeling, since they are such a prominent part of like the problem, you could say, in the Abyss as well, with the drifters and the sleepers and things like that. I'm kind of hoping that CCP has a storyline ready for basically the next big push in EVE Online. It's obviously not this quadrant. This quadrant is Gateway, that focuses on the new player experience, onboarding new players, and trying to basically focus on making EVE Online available in more places. And I think for like making it more performing. So we get EVE Anywhere going, we get the mass test for the Max going, we've got EVE coming to the Epic Store, which is actually completed, and then we get that Quasar dev blog as well, explaining some of the technology that CCP is working on to basically take stuff that is historically has always been calculated on TQ itself and would definitely cause a performance hit in like very big battles, to take that away from the Tranquility server itself and put that on different servers, so that TQ can focus itself on the most important part. It was definitely an interesting dev blog. Now, technology-wise, way over my head, way too in detail for me to fully understand it, but I definitely got a grasp as to what CCP is thinking, what they're working on, and how they're trying to improve EVE Online and the game in general. So that seems to be the focus at the moment. And I'm still expecting EVE Vegas to perhaps be another turning point for more announcements and a bit more clarity on what they're planning for Q4 and perhaps story-wise as well. Overall, I'm still having fun in EVE Online, but it is admittedly just more of the same. I'm exploring, I'm doing my PI, doing my BPCs, and I'm managing the stuff that I have, or trying to manage the stuff that I have at the moment. From time to time, if I've got a little bit of extra time, I do try to take a look at some of the events and things like that that are happening, but definitely the goal is to just relax, enjoy my time in EVE Online, and not put too much pressure on myself with like massive, lofty, long-term goals or anything like that. I'm still on the lookout basically for more news as to what the development of the game is going to mean before I commit to any of that stuff. On other things that I'm looking at, so I didn't really play a lot. I am playing a little bit of Civilizations from time to time, and I feel like I really need to unplug from EVE, from everything online. Can play that offline, obviously. Just doing some single player stuff, just enjoying it, going through the motions, getting a couple of achievements here and there, trying the different victories in easy games and things like that. Great game in my opinion. Civ 6 is a very nice version of Civilization, and so that's something that I've been doing. And then of course you may have noticed that yourself or seen that yourself. In 2 weeks we should get another leak for Path of Exile. Very interesting. We got some like manifestos that came out about changes that they're planning for this leak. The previous one felt like, all right, they've tuned everything up, made everything very difficult actually, and so I couldn't really stick that much to the league, especially I couldn't do any pushes to try and get a character further than I ever gotten one. Here it feels like they've made defenses a lot easier, a lot more accessible, and so that does make me very excited. I think my league start is going to be another minion build, but it's something that I tried at the end of last league that seemed very interesting, with Chaos Inoculation and focusing on getting Energy Shield, of course, as a result of that. And so that's probably going to be my main experiment that I'm planning at the moment, considering what GGG is actually announcing around this league. And it looks like it could be very, very interesting with a lot of new and different ways of building up your defenses that will hopefully be a little bit more clear and accessible than all the different layers that exist at the moment. But yeah, that was my last week in games, guys. Looking forward to more, of course, and I'll keep you guys up to date every week as we keep going. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.